Muriwai lifeguards are rushing to the aid of a boy who's capsized his kayak and is being swept out to sea. Sharks have been spotted in the water, and lifeguards only hope they can get there in time.
I'm just hoping that he's all right and that it's not too serious.
12 kilometres later, a kayak is spotted offshore. It could be the boy they're looking for. So Brad and Tim immediately hit the surf. But on the way,
The boy has made it safely back to shore. He was originally kicked out of the kayak and caught in a rip, but he has made it back to shore, and you can stand down.
and Dave stands the boys down.
Stand down, the boy is safely back on shore.
And sends them north to Rimmers Road, where Dave has already located the missing kayaker.
So were you wearing a life jacket?
Yeah, I was wearing my life jacket. I think that's what saved my life, more or less.
Yeah.
And it sort of flipped out of the kayak, and I sort of wrestled with the kayak trying to get back on top.
A lot of them do turn out like that. Definitely the best possible outcome there. Guy was wearing a life jacket, so probably saved his life. But you know, if something has happened up there, it's usually really bad because it's just the time it takes to get up there. I mean, it's 12k down the beach for us. It's a long way to go.
Back at the tower, the patrol has a major problem.
One of our senior lifeguards, who was on a training mission with some Americans further along the coast, is apparently flipped the IRB. Chris has just come back. He hitched a ride with a jet ski, apparently, that was just passing by. Very lucky.
An IRB has flipped and is stuck around the rugged rocks south of Muriwai.
Basically, I took the Americans for a coastal awareness survey. Coastline between here and Bethels, we occasionally get call-outs there, and it's important for the guards, especially the ones that come from overseas, is to know what's happening in between the rocks there. And unfortunately, while one of the Yanks was driving around a corner, he unfortunately flipped the boat, which basically meant the engine didn't run, and therefore we had no means of getting home or getting back. Yep, ready. So now we're taking this boat down to pick up the fishing boat so we can get back here and everyone back to safe and sound.
Chris has just grabbed an IB and he's just on his way out there to rescue the boat and tow them back in. Hopefully everyone's okay. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see when they come back, I guess.
The boat is stranded on one of the few sandy inlets, but with the incoming tide, it's disappearing fast. Getting into the inlet is a tricky exercise, as Chris must navigate through the rocks just beneath the surface. One misjudgment could tear the IRB, disabling both of Muriwai's IRBs. Safely on shore, they now have the daunting task of towing it back out through the swell and rocks. With the exposed rocks everywhere, the dangers are very real for both crew and boats. Chris faces the tricky task of manoeuvring the two boats through the exposed rocks. Waves consistently hammer the boats, and trying to manoeuvre the two IRBs out through the large swell has become a bigger challenge than first thought. With no time to waste, he makes a dash for it. But was it the right decision? Muriwai's rival surf club, Mount Maunganui,
Move shore with it, guys. You're fighting the stronger current out here.
is overseeing the local harbour swim.
When the second lap starts to come round, they're going to find it even harder to swim around this cantilever.
As the tide began to go out, strong rips and currents have made conditions extremely difficult.
That's what you call trying to swim on a treadmill.
A swimmer has become trapped in an outgoing current and may have suffered a stroke.
Mayday, Mikey, over.
Lifeguard Mike Copping rushes to his aid. As he reaches the scene, he finds the victim has already been pulled to safety and appears to only be suffering from exhaustion. A welcome relief to all concerned.
Yeah, Yeah, mate, while you return casualties ashore, we'll take over the back of the field. First casualty of the day, somebody deciding that they've bitten off a wee bit too more than they can chew. The guys have pulled them in, they'll return them back to the start line, make sure everything's sweet, and then they'll return back to here and we'll carry on around the course.
Back on the west coast, an IRB has flipped and become stranded in a remote rocky inlet. Chris Butt has brought a second IRB to the rescue, but is struggling towing it out through the waves. It's decided the only option is to unhitch and swim the disabled IRB out through the rocks and crashing surf. Chris makes a run for it, and only just makes it through the waves, leaving the others to manoeuvre through the obstacles. All hooked up and ready to go, and the boats are still struggling to make any headway.
One person you're landing in that boat's getting eaten out of the water, and the rest of us in this one, okay?
A slight weight adjustment, and they are on their way home. Dirk van der Woerd is relieved to see everybody back, and both their rescue boats in one piece.
They're coming back now. There's two of them there, so I think everybody's okay. They're quicker than I thought. Very happy about that.
This IRB is a bit like a balloon. If you hit it on a rock, it's going to pop, and to fix that takes quite a bit of manpower and quite a bit of money. They'll have to reinstate that engine and get it back and do a 30-minute test run to make sure it goes again. So they're going to be here for some time.
For Chris, the day is over. But the little incident puts life-saving in New Zealand into perspective.
That was the Americans' first week in the country, so it kind of gave them a head start onto what they're getting into. And the guarding over there, they've got, 80 people to a beach as compared to 3. It makes a huge difference.
Next week, a father is concerned for his missing son.
He's been surfing for a year in Australia, but he doesn't know this area.
Lifeguards are put to the test with the Westpac rescue chopper.
When they concentrate, they're onto it.
And training turns real as everybody rushes to the aid of 2 missing fishermen.
The surf's kind of pucking up, and it's going to be pretty tough to do it.
What the hell are we? Several billion light years from home.
We're on a ship, but we have no idea where we are in relation to Earth.
We're protecting someone.
Looks like we entered the Hoth system. Empire Strikes Back.
The road may be longer than many of us hoped.
It's beautiful.
Robert Carlyle in the movie-length premiere of SGU. Thursday, Prime.
That's marvelous.